Hello, good evening. It's Monday night, and that can only mean one thing. It's the ILFL Soccer Night Show with me, David Joseph. On my left this evening, I have Nanu Mia, and on my left is Koyas Mia as well, here to help me with a couple of things this evening, which are equally important. Obviously, they're here to talk about everything that went on yesterday in our Sunday games. Also, what should and will still be happening with the Veterans League. But more importantly, we have two of our biggest cup draws happening right here live on the show. They will be happening in the second part of the show. One is for the Champions Cup, first round games to be drawn here, and also it's for the second round of the ILFL League Cup, or the quarter-finals, if you wish. 4 Prem and 4 First Division teams go into the pot, and let's see what comes out. The responsibility will lie with these two guys here. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the results from the games played yesterday. Here they are on the screen for you right now. And in the Premier Division, I don't know anything about Black Friday, but it was crazy Sunday, it seems, with some of these results. Ace and Beaumont, 8 goals scored there, and I understand that Beaumont managed to get a couple of those goals right late on to score a point. Both teams will be happy. Who will be unhappy? Who knows? 4-4. Hawk and Eagle, what's that all about? 7 goals they've scored, 4 conceded. We're going to be talking to the boys about that one in a little depth. And London Tigers, what is going to happen to London Tigers this season? Still can't get a point and not scoring any goals. St. Caffreys will be so happy to get 3 points and 3 goals off them. In the First Division, Arsenal, well done to you. Back-to-back wins now, 4 goals to 2. You beat Stepney B. That makes you a mid-table team now. Bow, look at that. Back-to-back wins for you as well. You win by 6 goals to 0 over a hapless Lotus team. We need to hope that their fortunes can change after Christmas. Burdett and ANY. ANY, you must be kicking yourself. That's another high-scoring game that you've lost by the odd goal. 4 goals to 3 against a very good Burdett side who, when they get it together, can give anybody a run for their money. And look at this again. Esprit, again, involved in another high-scoring game with PYO. PYO must be wondering what's happened to their season now. 9 goals scored in that game, but PYO only got 4 of them. Well done to the boys from Esprit. Again, mid-table team, that makes you. But let me go back to the first Premier Division. Nanu, I'm going to turn to you first. When I looked at this scoreline between Hawk and Eagle and Bromley, I thought Bromley are a great side. Bromley won't be happy to have conceded 7 goals, but that must mean that Hawk and Eagle have got an impressive offensive line now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, in the previous sort of weeks, I would say last 2 weeks, I'd say that there's been some sort of major strides, you know. The players are turning up. They've got the full manager's backing, you know. Everybody in the board is providing that support and that the level of scrutiny that a team actually needs. So they've got all of this support, and it was only about last 2 weeks, I think we've seen some results, although we haven't been winning the games, you know, but we've seen...
The week before was a close one. You just lost by the odd goal in 5.
I know, so there's definitely been some improvement, and this game, it was actually coming, you know. I mean, we've been saying that over a week ago that, you know, Bromley is probably one of the games that we could actually win. So there you go, you know, 7 goals, that's more than 50% of the goals scored in the whole season in one game, you know, and if Hawk and Eagle can continue and maintain this level of form, you know, they could do quite well, you know.
They could indeed. Koyas, like I said, welcome to the show. I know you were involved in this game as well yesterday. 7 goals scored, but still conceding. So is that still a problem that Hawk and Eagle need to address?
Yes, we need to still work on our defensive line. I think we're still trying to get the back 4 right. We're not quite there yet. But I think the 2 wing backs, left and right, are quite there. It's the central. So I think we've got to work on that. I mean, 4 goals again conceded out of, I mean, we dominated the game and still come out and concede 4 goals, which were all defensive errors.
Bromley are a good team.
They are a good team. They played really well.
You've got to look at this as a really great result, despite the fact that you consider it still a great result.
It is definitely. I mean, as Nanu said, our attack line has improved dramatically over the last, I'd say, 2-3 weeks and the last couple of games especially, and the boys are really playing together, and they, you know, have sort of identified each other's games, and that's what is showing on the pitch now on Sundays. The way we attack the midfield again, we need to work slightly on the midfield, but it's getting there. But our attack line is very good. I think if we can take
A
that
lot of
into
young players coming through.
we
as well.
have, yeah, recruited a lot of youngsters because obviously at this level you need the legs. You need the legs, and that's what makes the difference. You know, all it takes is the youngsters to run riot, which is what they've done this Sunday.
London Tigers went down again. Great name, not having a great season. Went down by 3-0 against St Catherine's. Well done to you boys from St Catherine's, because that's the confidence boost you needed, just to show that you can compete in this division when you get it right and when you all turn up and play consistently well. So make sure you keep that going, and then you can have a respectable finish in this division. But Nano, we have to say, Tigers are in danger of being relegated out of this division.
Yeah, they are. After last week's game, most definitely. But having said that, St Catherine's have sort of renewed their confidence. I spoke to their manager after the game, and he said that the boys played with confidence, and they were like up 2-0 in the first half. And Tigers are a second half team. You know that even if they're 3-0 down in the second half, they could easily come back and win by quite a big fraction. So. Well done to St Catherine's for holding it on, and they're actually quite bubbling, and they're actually looking forward to next week's game, and that will be a very interesting one to see.
It will indeed. We'll talk to you a little bit more about the fixtures to come this Sunday as well. But Tigers, you've heard us say it many times on this panel, you're a second half team. Well, let's hope the second half of your season is a complete turnaround, and in contrast to how the first half has been, because it's been miserable and things can only get better and shouldn't get much worse. Ace and Beaumont, what a game, an incredible game. I've had mixed reports on social media about this game. A 4-4 draw, as you can see there on the screen, between Ace and Beaumont. I understand that Ace started brightly, did very well, went 4-2 up. Both teams probably didn't play very well, but I have to say probably to Beaumont, they will feel that they got something out of their game. They started short of players. There was a lot missing for them, but to their credit, with those missing players, they still managed to hold on to Ace, hold on to their coattails, and come back and get a point out of it. Again, though, Beaumont, what you need is consistency. You need all of your players there at the beginning of the game, and I shouldn't be saying this to a Premier Division side. Get your boys there, make sure that they're on time and they're week in, week out to get consistent and credible results. We look in the second division, Nanu, and there is a bit of a turnaround. I mean, Redcoat didn't play, but now I noticed that with a lot of the teams in the first division, they've kind of squeezed everything up from the bottom. Let me show you guys the table just on the screen here as it is now. You can see Redcoat didn't play, but they're out in front by 6 points, 22 points from them. But from Esprit down to Burdett, 4 points, covers 5 teams, and Arsenal then are only a couple of points adrift from that. So again, topsy-turvy first division.
I know, I haven't seen that pattern before, to be honest with you. It's usually sort of top 4, top 5 teams sort of moving away this time of the season, and the bottom ones, who they are basically, after about 8 or 9 games. But having seen, from Esprit all the way down to what, Arsenal, you're right, there's 4 to 6 points. So you can see that the consistency is there for the first division.
Everyone's beating everyone in that group as well.
That's what it is, and obviously there has to be 1 or 2 relegations there, and the one at the top is probably in shape to enter the Premier Division in the next winter. So, and I think that's what it's actually telling us. It's giving us a picture of what the teams are doing. So, yeah, those teams in the middle, they're beating each other and they're playing reasonably well, but the team that's at the top is a different kind of animal, and that needs to be moved away and put in places where it can compete with similar level types of teams.
Even when I look at that first division stat right there, and I look at the incredible amount of goals that the teams are letting in. Okay, Redcoat and Esprit have scored quite a lot, but the incredible amount of goals that teams are letting in after 8 or 9 games. Defending is clearly not a priority in this division. I mean, I know you were talking about it.
Yeah.
Are you finding that in the Premier Division? Is it? We're not seeing any nil-nils. There's nothing like that. So, is it just free scoring all the time? Is it all about, as long as we can score more than you, that's all that matters?
I think, yeah. I mean, to an extent, you're right. But I think what teams are struggling with, and certainly with the games I've seen, is a solid defensive back line, and people seem to concentrate more on scoring. And you're right, it's turned out more. It's although you can score, but we'll score more if we've got a better lineup. And it's sort of drifted away to that sense. But I think, yeah, teams really need to concentrate defensively because, I mean, throughout the games I've seen this season, there has been some poor goals let in and defensive errors, mistakes.
There has been
Well,
indeed.
on the other hand, okay, you might have the best defense in the division, but if your middle keep losing the ball and they can't hold on, then they'll get wave after wave of attacks. And if they don't score after 3 attacks, they might score on the 5th attack. It's just a fact. It would happen, you know, no matter how good your defense is. So it's not always about having a very strong defense. It's also having a very strong midfield and then some strikers up front who can score a goal. So you could keep attacking yourself, and when you get there, you can't finish. You're not clinical enough. So then you concede a goal and you lose the game. Although you might have played better than the opposition, you might have had 75% possession. It just doesn't count. So it's not just the defense. What I'm trying to get to is that it's a team effort. You know, it has to be one unit, and if you can't have the team working as one unit, then it's just not going to work. You know, no matter how good your defense is, you know, after the 5th or the 6th attack, a goal is going to go in.
I have to say, somebody quite famous once said, you know, you have to work on your defence, and if you don't concede any goals, you will pick up points. And let's see what happens in the remainder of this season. I'm just going to show you guys, because I know over the weekend a lot of teams have been looking around and anticipating and talking, can't see the fixtures online, what's happening next week? Let me show you the fixtures for this coming Sunday in the Premier Division. Hawk and Eagle, can they go back-to-back victories against another good team in Beaumont? Beaumont will be heartened by their pickup against Ace. It's going to be a cracking game, that one. Robin Hood Tigers return to take on the London Tigers. It's a Tigers derby. What will happen there? Will London Tigers manage to rally and get something out of it? Or will Robin Hood now be fresh from a week's break, come back and want to make a statement themselves? St Caffreys go to Bromley. Tough one for you now, St Caffreys, but you've got to win and you've got that confidence. Let's see what you can do up against a Bromley team who will be smarting from that defeat against Hawk and Eagle. And Stepney take on Ace, another big game. Stepney, the wheels have come off a little bit of late, but let's see if we can put them back on against Ace. Ace, if they have any designs on winning the Premier Division, they will want to take all 3 points in that game. Into the First Division we go now. AMY take on Arsenal. Arsenal have got back-to-back wins and will be looking to get a third on the bounce. But I think AMY are a spirited team, decent side. There could be an upset for Arsenal in the cards there. Esprit go to Stepney B. And again, they will be looking up rather than down and looking to take points of Stepney B there. Lotus against Burdett. Lotus, I think you can get some points somewhere. Somewhere you've got to shore it up at the back and see if you can get a point at least out of Burdett, who will be looking to take all 3. Redcoat take on Bow. Very big game there. Bow will be confident by the 2 wins that they've got. They're a good side and will feel that they can take something from Redcoat, but Redcoat are 6 points clear for a reason. And then look at this, Seoul Youth versus PYO. Both teams would have liked to think that they would be top of the division. Seoul Youth in particular, PYO were there once, and it's all falling apart now. Both teams need something out of this game, otherwise they will continue to be in free fall. That's our quick summarization of what's happened last Sunday, what's happening next Sunday, what's going to happen right now. In fact, in the next segment of this show is we're going to be doing a draw for the ILFL Champions Cup. That's right. Different teams from different leagues come together and go head-to-head in a knockout competition to see who will win that Champions Cup right there. We'll see you after this short break.